What up? This is OD. I wanted to do this on Angry Fan Radio. I reached out to Angry Fan, and he said I could get it on there. But I was talking about today. Maybe he was talking about tomorrow or something. I don't know what it was, but the time that we could have did it on the radio show, he like never called me on the three-way to punch me in. So he probably meant the next day. But I need to get this off because this shit is so unimportant to me that if I don't get this round off right now, then tomorrow I'm not even gonna be tripping. Like I don't care about this really. I don't give a fuck what KG thinks. I don't care what nobody from his battle league thinks. It doesn't matter to me. It's not important to me. So it really doesn't matter. But he's saying on KG's this whole little vlog is about what KG said in his interview in response to what I said when I was really talking about Aspect. I tried to tell him that it wasn't about him or whatever, but he didn't want to take that. And so this is just about KG. This is about KG, addressing what KG said. So I'm just gonna run down. Like he said a lot of stuff, and like about 50% of it is not accurate, but 50% of it was. 50% was accurate and about 50% wasn't. So I'm just gonna run down. I like made a note of the things that are like more relevant. There's certain things that he spoke on that it's none of my business. They're inaccurate and I know the truth, but it's not even my business to say. But this stuff is more about his and I conversation. So that's why I'm gonna address these things, and they were accurate. So one thing he said in the interview is he said, I tried to make it clear why we did our first event in Vegas. He never told me why they did it in Vegas. He never told me. Maybe he told Danny, maybe he told somebody else and he thought he told me, but he never told me why they were doing it in Vegas. But in that interview, he said, I tried to make it very clear. Well, nigga, you never even told me. How clear are you trying to make that? Because you never told me. When I heard it on the interview was the very first time ever I found out why they did their first PG in Las Vegas. Before that, nobody, not even the rappers, nobody else involved in it had ever told me. I didn't know why they did it out here. So that was one thing that he said was inaccurate. That shit was out the window. Another thing is he said I didn't support it. He said I said I was going to support it and I didn't support it. You got to understand, you got to know the definition of support. Support means to basically, it means to assist, to help out. So to assist or to support is just to do anything that helps a person in whatever they're trying to do. So you got to remember that I found them the location for their second day of their event. They had it at a venue. For some reason, they couldn't hold it at the venue, I guess. I don't know why, but the planned place that it was supposed to be at the second day, their event did not go down at that venue, the URL event. Something happened and they weren't allowed to do it at the venue the next day. I get a call in the morning from Danny saying like, yo, they can't find the event. I think he said Aspect told me to ask you if you know any venues or locations that we could do it. It could be a park, it could be whatever. We just need to try to find a place for everybody to go to get the battle in or whatever. So I told them a park, and they wound up going to the place that I told them, because I used to do battles at parks before I did them inside venues. So I told them a park that was a dope park and it's suitable for battles. So they did it there, and they didn't have no problems there, other than I think it started raining on them or sprinkling on them or something like that. But other than that, everything was cool. Well, if you do battle events or any type of event, one of the most important thing is the venue or the location. It don't matter how many battles you have, how many cameramen you have. If you don't have a venue for all the talent to come to and perform, or a location that they could come and get their performance in, like nothing matters. There's nothing gonna happen. Like if you don't have a location and everybody's from out of town and don't nobody know where how to get around, it has to be like it has to meet certain criteria. It basically has to be easy to find. This is why a lot of parks in Vegas aren't suitable for battles. For one, either they're too close to the freeway, so the noise from the freeway will fuck up the audio in the battles, or they're too close to the street. The street cars will fuck up the audio in the battles, or it's too close to the airport. Every 15 minutes, an airplane's landing, so it's gonna fuck up the audio in the battles. So there's a lot of things you could like downplay it and be like, oh nigga, all you did was find a park for them. Well, nigga, they used it and they didn't have no problems. And not only that, it has to be a place where black people could gather around without the police coming. Like it has to fit all of those criterias. And I used to do battles at parks, and none of the rappers that were on the card, not even Danny, were around when I used to do the battles at the park. So these rappers couldn't even really tell them. They could guess, like maybe you could do it at this park, maybe. But I've tested parks and all that stuff out here, so I know which ones are good to do battles at. And I told them one that was centrally located, easy to find. The police aren't gonna come. The audio's not gonna get messed up from freeways or cars or nothing like that. I gave them that. So if you know what support means, it means to assist. Well, I just assisted them in one of the biggest things involved with doing any event, which is the venue or the location. So for this nigga to say that I didn't support them is out of pocket. It's out of pocket. Like, not only did they never thank me, they never said good looking out. I appreciate that, OD. Yeah, we wasn't really getting along with each other or whatever, but that was solid shit. You found us the location where we did it at, and we didn't have no problems from the law or nothing like that. So I appreciate that. Not only did they never thank me, but they're going to turn around and say, I didn't support them. And I supported them. The only way you could, probably the only bigger support you could give than helping somebody with their venue is probably to give them money to help them with their event. That's probably the only thing bigger. Not even getting the MCs is bigger than the venue, because you could have 100 MCs and no venue, you're not going to have battles. Even if it's just a location, you got to have a location to where you could get them battles off. If you got 5 battles and you could only get 2 battles off, and the police are coming and break it up, and then y'all got to drive around and the police follow you everywhere you go and you don't get it off, like, a venue is super, super important. So to be honest, I think they owe me more than to say that I didn't support them. They don't even owe me a thank you. Like, they ain't gotta thank me. That's not no big deal. But you owe me enough respect to say, like to not say I didn't support you when I gave you the biggest support that almost anybody could give you, other than giving you money for your event. I got your location for you. So them saying I didn't support them, that shit's out the window, because I got them their location for the second day, and they actually used the location that I got for them. So that nips that in the bud. They can't even say that no more. So forget that. Like, and this is the only time, this is the last time I'm speaking on any of this shit. Like, I'm so done with this, and I really just had to get this off. Like, I wanted to get it on Angry Fan, but if I didn't get it off today, by the time I sleep and wake up, I'm gonna be like, man, fuck that shit. I don't give a shit about none of that. And so I'm just trying to get it off while I want to get it off still, before I just like, man, fuck that shit. I don't give a damn about it. So anyway, another inaccurate thing he said, okay, somewhere in his interview, he said he did everything a grown man could do to let me know that I was invited. So basically, it sounds like he's trying to say that he exhausted every resource to let me know that I was invited and that I should come or whatever. So KG, answer me this. You just said you did everything a grown man could do to let me know I was invited. So did you ever tell me, OD, I got you plus 4 or 5, or I got you when you come to the event, you're good, or you plus 5, you're good or whatever? Or did you ever say that me and my people could get in? You just said you did everything a grown man could do. Well, did you ever actually just say what's the easiest? Fuck all the around and about shit. Did you ever say, OD, I got you. You and you plus 5. Like, I'll give you an example. Me and Debo from Queen of the Ring, we had a talk early this morning. And in that conversation, he was like, OD, anytime you want to come to our event, I got you. And I told him the same thing. I wouldn't, before that conversation, even though me and Debo's cool, I wouldn't just automatically assume. I kind of got a feeling that I would be good at any of their events, but I would hit them up first. I wouldn't just assume it. Like, I don't take shit like that for granted. Like, I get love. I go to all kind of shit. Like, I don't pay for shit in Vegas. I go to, like, Nas concerts for free. I go to boxing events, like championship boxing events in Las Vegas for free. I could go to any club on the strip, and I could get in for free. So, but even though that, I don't just go up there assuming. If it's a boxing event and it's my people's that's promoting it, I'm not just gonna go up there and be like, yeah, they can get me in. No, I call them up and like, yo, I want to come up to y'all event. You got me? I got 3 people with me. We good? You know, I check and make sure. Like, I don't take shit like that for granted. So, nigga, you said you exhausted, or you said you did everything a grown man could do to let me know I was invited. Except actually say, nigga, I got you if you come to the event. Especially if you listen to his interview, he talks about the last time him and I communicated. And it wasn't like an all good, like, oh, we homies. Like, yeah, me and him's cool. We see eye to eye. No, it was like, nigga, it's like that? Yeah, it's like that, nigga. Like, that's how our conversation kind of ended. Those weren't the exact words. I don't know what the words were exchanged, but he knows and I know that it wasn't all good. And if you listen to his interview, when he talks about the last time we communicated, you could tell by the words he's saying and how he's saying it that it wasn't all good last time we talked. So because it wasn't all good last time we talked, that's why, and everything we discussed prior, the footage, him in the Facebook group and all this other stuff have changed, and he's, you know, it feels like he's kind of salty with me. Like, I didn't give a damn about the Facebook group or whatever. Like, I didn't give a shit about that. It didn't bother me, but he was bothered, and he let me know he was bothered. But I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. So, but because of that, yeah, I wasn't sure I could get in there for free no more, because everything that was cool, that we communicated that was cool, was basically out the window at this time. So, nigga, it's understandable that a nigga thinks like, damn, everything is not cool no more. So maybe I'm not invited no more. Maybe I'm not good to get in for free. Maybe I can't get my homies in for free. And if you knew from the conversation that it wasn't like an all good conversation, like we wasn't just like super homies with each other. But if you still wanted me to come, you never even said, OD, I know we had a little bit of a falling out or a disagreement or just not seeing eye to eye, but if you come to the event, I got you +4, or I got you +5, or you and your homies, I got y'all, don't even trip. Like, if you said that, then I could understand you saying you did everything a grown man could do to let me know I was invited. But you never even did the actual invitation part. You just said, I wanted your support. Well, nigga, I gave you support. I helped y'all find your second venue. I mean, the venue for your second day. So, nigga, I did support. So what are you talking about? That shit's out the window. Here's another thing. What's this? Okay. Oh, this shit is crazy. Like, anybody that knows me, anybody that just knows the competition between battle leagues, or how battle leagues like interact with each other, like, everybody could just see that this shit is not true. In his interview, he said, his words were, I'm gonna quote him, but when I say he's talking about me. So this is what KG said. He said, he told us that he wanted us to come, meaning that I told KG that I wanted them to come to Vegas. Now, anybody that knows me just knows that that's not the truth. Like, if any battle league asks me, do I want them to do an event in Vegas, I'm gonna tell them no, unless they breaking bread with A Hat. Like, I would tell anybody no. Anybody, it could be total slaughter. If Eminem called me, if he wasn't breaking bread with A Hat, I'd be like, nah, y'all should do that somewhere else. But he said, KG said, I told him that I wanted them to come, that it was a good idea. No, nigga. When I said it was a good idea, that was when we were talking about the Jay Scott thing. Because when he first brought up the Jay Scott, oh, we want to dedicate it to Jay Scott or whatever. At first, I was salty about that. I was like, nigga, y'all don't even know him. That's our homie. Y'all ain't got nothing to do with Jay Scott. But then I called up R&B and asked R&B, my AHAT Cali president, and he said the coldest shit he could have told me. He was like, what would Jay Scott want? And that just changed my whole philosophy, my whole thinking on the thing. Because I know, I really don't know, but I'm assuming that Jay Scott or anybody that's passed wants to be remembered. They just don't want to be forgotten. So basically, any battle league that wanted to help keep Jay Scott's memory alive is a good thing and a good idea. So when I said a good idea to KG, I was talking about Jay Scott. Like, yeah, y'all should do y'all can do I'm not against y'all doing the Jay Scott dedication or whatever. It's a good idea. But no, nigga, I never said I wanted you guys to come to Vegas. Like, any battle league, I don't think that's not even logical. Like, that goes, even though I don't feel competition from nobody, I do understand business. And I understand in a monopoly, your chances of success are through the roof. And when the more competition you have, or the more watered down or more people doing the same thing you're doing, the less chance you have a success. Like, I do understand the rules of business. I'm not oblivious to all that stuff. So that shit is just not true. It's not true at all. And anybody who knows me know I would never say that. If he asked me, like, should we come out there to Vegas, I would have said no. He never asked me that. He said, we're coming to Vegas. Do you know any rappers who want to get on our card? Let me know. And he didn't say it foul. He wasn't like poking his chest out when he said it. He was saying it cordial. But it wasn't like, hey, OD, we're thinking. No, nigga, you didn't say thinking. You said we're doing an event in Vegas. And you didn't ask me, should we do an event in Vegas? You said, we're doing an event in Vegas. Let us know if you know any rappers that want to get on the card. And that's the truth. And everything I said in my first interview is the truth. Like, I didn't lie on none of that shit. That shit's real. And I'm just explaining everything and letting you know that, like, this is how it went. Like, the shit he said, a lot of the shit he said is just not facts. It's not. So then the last thing, he was taking shots on his interview and he said, some of the shit had me laughing. I ain't even gonna lie. He said, they mad that, he was talking about us. He said, they mad that we put niggas in a position to shine. Like, first of all, where do you get that I'm mad at you? Like, I don't give a fuck about you. Why would I be mad about you? I don't even care enough about you to be mad about you. I don't think about you enough to be mad at. Like, being mad at somebody takes attention. Like, it takes thought and consideration to be mad. Like, they gotta be on your mind or something. Like, I don't give a shit what y'all do. Like, I'm actually glad at y'all. Any battle league that does 30 people at their events, like, I'm definitely not mad at that. Any battle league that comes to Vegas and they do a 2-day event and they can't do it at their venue the second day because, you know, who knows the reason, but they got to do it at a park last minute, and I helped them secure their venue. Nigga, I'm not mad at you. Like, I look great in that situation. Like, that shit make me look good. Like, I'm not mad at y'all. And even if y'all shit was just 100, like, say y'all didn't have none of them problems. Say y'all did have more than 30 people at your event. Say you had 300 people. And say y'all didn't get kicked out the venue the second day. Say y'all could have did it there the second day. I still wouldn't be mad at y'all. Like, your success has nothing to do with my success. Or your failure has nothing to do with my success either. So neither one really, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And the whole the whole situation of this is basically, it was a lack of communication on him and I, and like we probably didn't even explain this good. Like, 90% of this, maybe even 95% of this communication was done on Facebook. We had, I think, one conversation over the phone. We might not have never had a conversation. I don't really remember 100% because this is some old shit that probably neither one of us was really giving a fuck about in the first place. I know I wasn't. Like, I'm doing my shit. I could care less about what another battle league doing. So it definitely didn't have all my attention. But like, the majority of our conversation, or our interaction, I should say, or communication, was on Facebook. So, like, he's acting like it's just unrealistic that I didn't get maybe what he was trying to convey to me. I didn't get it that way. I didn't receive it that way. Now, is it hold so hard that, nigga, you're typing this shit, but I'm supposed to get it 100% accurate what you're trying to say to me, when you know good and well we're not typing everything and being super clear and all that shit. Like, nigga, it's understandable. Bottom line is, I don't give a fuck about this situation. I don't think he give a fuck about this situation. And nigga, I'm tired of this shit. And I'm not saying shit else about it. Like, I gave him my number yesterday. If you want to talk about it, KG, hit me up. I don't need to go on Angry Fan to talk about it. I was going to go on there and say this last shit. But if we want to clear it up, nigga, we clear that shit up directly.